What's going on, my babies? Welcome back to another episode of The Spiritual Word. I'm your host, Jackie. I upload Monday through Friday. If science, spirituality, psychology, self-help, philosophy is something that you're interested in, that's my main topics. So with that, I'm going to jump right into today's episode. I also want to start these off with a disclaimer by stating that these are for entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research to come to your own conclusions, to make your own decisions, to have your own answers. And I believe in your ability to do so, as you already have shown me by clicking on today's episode. So another disclaimer that I want to state is that I apologize for any noises in the background in advance and anything of that nature. If I pop my S's, my Q's, my T's, my P's a little too harshly, I apologize for that. And if I get a little bit too excited randomly, So with that being said, let's jump right into today's episode. So I want to talk about what it means to be in alignment with your soul's purpose, and like what it means to be in alignment, period. So being in alignment means that you're in the flow of that you're in the current of existence, and you're in the current of your specific timeline. And to be in the current of your specific timeline, obviously, when I looked at my timestamp, it said 111. So listen to what I'm saying, but also take this with a grain of salt, because I'm not in your life, I'm not in your shoes. So basically, when you're in the current of your truest form of expression, I like to say we're like the universe's breaths, right? You are an expression or an extension of what is, and all that is, and nothing, all at the same time. And because of knowing that, this is the best way that I can describe what I mean by, like, I hate the fact that sometimes I can't express fully what I'm intending to express. So let me just restart. To be in the current of your soul's purpose, or to be in the current of your exact timeline, everybody's timeline is different, and we're all in this symphony of kind of like threads. We're all on this quilt, but we're just one of the threads, and we're here to serve a purpose, to be that thread. And so when you get to the highest form of expression for yourself, which is excitement, in my experience, and I'm sorry if you could hear that plane going by, but anyway, it's your highest form of, like, allowance and flowing and attracting and being. So what is being in alignment? Being in alignment is allowing the things to unfold through your expression. And your expression is your excitement, because whatever excites you is something that holds an electric current in you. Same could be said about triggers. Triggers hold an electric currency. And so this is also another way to get rid of, like, another way you could see getting rid of trauma, or see getting rid of your past or your past experiences. Just because karma is a real thing to me. Doesn't mean it's a real thing to you, but you could call it trauma. Some people could call it karma. Some people could call it, whatever the case is for them. And basically, your fullest expression is you being the most happy you could be, or the most electric you could be. And that could come in the form of excitement. And excitement is a thread that you're following to get to the next part of your journey. And everybody has the power to be a master manifester. It's all about, like, how much fun are you having right now? Are you having the most fun, or are you not having that much fun? Are you worrying about tomorrow, or are you worrying about yesterday? Are you worrying about anything other than here right now? Because if you're not here in this moment, there's something that you need to kind of exalt or exhaust. And if whatever you're excited about the most you're playing into, or it's your current electricity, that following of the thread will lead to more and more and more and more and more amazing and exciting things. Like, for example, one day I just kind of, like, got up out of one of my like, my bed. I don't know why I said one of them. I got out of my bed, And I was like, you know what? I really dislike this weather. I'm just gonna go to California. And where I live, it's cold and it snows. And I'm like, I don't want to be here. I really dislike the cold. So I'm gonna follow my excitement, my passion, and my passion is to be able to go swimming year round. My excitement is to be able to go sit out in the sun for as long as I want and to tan because I'm always super pale, even in the summer. And I did that. And long and behold, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to stress about how I'm going to make my money because right now I am wealthy and my bank is reflecting that. I have enough money to be here and to just exist for as long as I need to and as long as I need to get to the next step. And when I did that, I was actually attracting more money, which to me, it really didn't make sense. It really didn't make that much sense on how I was able to do that because I didn't really register how that was happening. You know what I mean? But it's not under my control to worry about that. But I was still getting checks at my mom's address because that's my mailing address. And I was getting checks in the mail, and my mom would send me text and be like, "Hey, you got something in the mail. Do you want me to open it? And or do you want to open it? Do you want me to just leave it here? Like, what's going on?" And sometimes my mom would not ask me; she'd just open my mail, which is illegal. Mom, don't do that. Anyways, lucky you're my mom. But anyway, she would open them and she'd be like, "Hey, you got to check. I don't know what happened, but you got to check. So, do you want me to cash it or do you want me to send you a picture? Like, what's going on? You know?" And I was like, "How the fuck am I getting money still?" To me, it didn't make sense because I was like, "Make that make sense." And I was still getting checks, and this was like every month I'd get like a little small check of like sometimes it would be 400, sometimes it would be 300, sometimes it'd be 200, sometimes it'd be 500, but I was getting checks fairly consistently. And it wasn't only until I started doubting my abundance and feeling in a lack state where that stopped. And I thought that was very exciting. I was like, oh my gosh, like that's so intriguing. How does that even work? How does that happen? How did I do that? Can I do it again? Can I replicate what I was doing? And long and behold, I kind of did. I remember getting back to my mom's house after experiencing not such a good amount of things, but it was because I was following my worrying. Like I was following the wrong thread. And after I got home, I was like, I'm really, really stressed about money and finances and all this stuff. And then I applied for all these different things and I got accepted for all of these different things, which is so weird because most of the, like, my friend, I remember during COVID, one of my friends who's working at a museum, making a lot of money, applied for financial support or like unemployment and they didn't give it to him, but they gave it to me and I was still working during the pandemic. So to me, that didn't really make sense, but I really, I get accepted for things really easily, especially when I follow this thread, right? And I fully believe that, like, I'm really lucky and, like, I fully believe that the universe is really here to help me. Because if it wasn't here to help me, I wouldn't be able to do the things that I want to do. And I wouldn't be able to have the opportunities that I've had. And, I wouldn't have followed this thread or I feel like if the universe really didn't have my back, I would have followed this thread right into a dead end or right into a cul-de-sac where I don't have anywhere to go. And that's never been the case for me. Like I've always had options and I've always had a billion options. And I feel like that's true for everybody. Everybody's always had a billion options. It's just about whether or not you're able to see them in that very moment. Digress. So during this time where I was following this thread of excitement, I was like, oh, okay, so this is how this is working and this is how this works. And like, I just really understood a lot deeper than most people. And I remember going to the Buddhist retreat center and talking to a bunch of people all the time, continuously, like I love to socialize. So I remember going into the like food area. There was a bunch of buildings for different things, and one of the buildings was like primarily food. And I remember going into that building and talking with two of the people that like I would mainly socialize with, two of my favorite people. They're all really lovely, but two of like my favorite people, and they would always be like, "How do you understand so much about like this Buddhist concept? Like we fully believe that you're, you know, in your past life you were 100% a Buddhist." And I was like, I honestly wouldn't doubt that. Like I feel like probably I don't doubt that. You know what I mean? Like I believe in everything, so it's probably true. And a part of me was like, damn, that would be really cool if I could remember. But I digress. That's not important. So I feel like it's really, 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 really important. And the purpose of me making this video is to follow your excitement, because that's how you get to your soul's purpose. And that's how you get into alignment. And what alignment is just the natural current that will take you as soon as you start doing things that make you feel happy, the things that make you feel excited, the things that you can reassure yourself with. And most of the time, people don't go after their happiness or their excitement because of triggers that hold more value to them. Like, for example, if one of my triggers is that people burp in my face, or like burp openly out into the atmosphere and they're like right next to me, that would be a trigger that's really annoying to me. You know what I mean? But if I'm more focused on being happy and feeling excited, then that's probably not a trigger anymore. You know what I mean? Because I'm so happy, I don't give a fuck about what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there'll be times where shit does bother you. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, if you're the happiest you've ever been and your favorite person in the world just happens to boop not exist anymore, that's not, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and be like, that's not gonna affect you. Because obviously it will affect you. It just won't affect you as strongly as it would if you were paying attention to that and solely that. And I feel like being in alignment is just allowing those things to pass like a river. As soon as you get on the river, that river takes you. You know what I mean? You don't have a choice. And when I looked at the time, it was 12:12. And getting on that river is the most exciting thing you can do. It's like rafting. And for me, if you're lazy like me, I wouldn't say lazy. If you're very, what is the word? Hold on. What is it? If you're very efficient, then you like to like do the least amount of work because it feels the best. You know what I mean? Like getting to chill for me is the best thing ever. And I get to chill so much. Like I remember even having jobs where I was like, you know what, I feel like I'm not doing enough. I feel like I'm waste of space here because I'm not doing enough. But at the same time, I'm doing everything that I was assigned to do. I'm doing my role. So, follow that excitement and it'll lead you to more amazing and passionate endeavors. And it'll be way more fun than if you're following the wrong current and going up the current, because it's going to take so much more effort. So kind of just follow your excitement and see where it leads you. And anyways, yeah, I'm going to end this here just because my phone's about to die. Thanks for tuning in and tapping in. I hope that this was entertaining in some way, shape, and form, and that you follow up with me in the next one. Peace.